Good morning to the DMV and the rest of the world. This is your girl, Reese, aka the best that ever did it, aka some people will argue if I'm the best that ever did it, but trust, I'm the best that ever did it. And it depends on what it is. I may have been the only one that did it. Today is Thursday. Today is December the 15th. Okay, so this is not the it's the this is the third day of Christmas. If you go by the song, I am here today with my girl, my beautiful co-host and homegirl, Miss Bernice Smith. Say good morning, Miss Smith.
Good morning, everybody. How
All
you doing,
right,
Reese?
huh?
I said, how you doing today?
Girl, I'm doing okay. It's cold. It's freezing outside. I'm
You
not
got
used
that right.
to this cold weather. I walk around the house with a coat over my head. Got the heat turned on. I don't know what to do. Shoot, as
I,
much meat as I got on my bones, I shouldn't be cold.
ah,
But
I don't know
that,
where you get that information from. Yeah.
but that don't mean nothing. This meat ain't saving no, it ain't saving me from the cold, honey. It ain't saving me from the cold. So
What?
we are in the full effect today, and we got our boy Molly Mall in the house
All
in the back doing what he do best. Y'all know what Molly do. Y'all know what it is. Ooh, excuse me. I'm sorry for coughing, y'all. It's like it's cold, and I just been coughing lately. I'm all right though. I'm all right. Woo! Bernice, what's going on in the news today, baby?
girl. Ah, Well, I was looking for some good news, but it's really hard to find good news.
Especially these times. You right.
Yeah. So, I ran upon this story. Of course, it's not good news, but Mississippi police officers killed responding to a welfare check at a hotel. And what
Hmm.
happened was they pulled up. There was two of them. They pulled up on this lady. She's in a car with her child. I guess somebody called and said that the child wasn't in good condition or whatever. I'm assuming they were homeless, but I guess she knew the police was coming to take her child. She killed both of them, and
Oh
she
my word.
yeah, they called the police officers called a CPS worker. She knew they were going to take her child. So she shot both of them, but she also ended up dead. Yep. So, I mean, you know, some people, that's my thing. They so ready to take your children instead of helping you. Why not say, okay, lady, we're not going to take your child. We're going to put you, DC do it. We're going to put you in a hotel. And you and your child have somewhere safe to stay until you get established. It's crazy out here. I'm just like, and that lady was like, look, and she wasn't in her right frame of mind. We all know that. But you think about losing your child. There's no way
No.
I could. I mean, the thought of it. I've been through it, but in that situation, nah, because you're in most time in those situations, they'll take your child and end up in foster care and some more stuff. You may never see him again.
It's funny that you say that because like the children that they should take, they don't. They leave they leave there. I've seen instances where some people should have got their children take and they leave the child there with the mother and the child
Yeah.
end up dying.
Yep. Yep.
Then there's some instances where they shouldn't have took the child. It's just crazy how they try to intervene for good, but they do more harm than it does good. My father got an old thing that he would say. He would say sometimes putting out the fire causes more damage than letting the fire burn. And
Yeah.
I didn't understand that because he explained to me. He said when you call the fire, if your house burned down completely, insurance cover and you can get a new house rebuilt, right?
Yeah.
But if your house get damaged, they only gonna cover a certain amount, and the 9 times out of 10 they never give you enough to cover all the damage. And sometimes the water damage be so great they put the fire out, but now you got to tear all this down because the water damage is so great. So it'd been better off letting the house burn down, get it built new. They would have covered all of that, the versus them going back and forth with the water damage and stuff because they never give you enough to cover your loss. And I
Yeah.
and I was like, wow, that's one way of looking at things. I never looked at it that way. But
Yeah.
sometimes what we do to try to help people end up hurting them.
Yeah. And so the next story also has to do with children. This mom reacts to a video of her 12-year-old son being attacked by a grown man at a bus stop. So the story is that this grown man, he was protecting his daughter. The little boy was being a bully, you know, picking on this little girl. So she went home and told her dad. Her dad followed the little boy home, grabbed the little boy up. He put his hands on the little boy, and he was like, "You gonna leave my daughter alone?" Basically, that was the message. So the mother ended up seeing video of what took place, and her response was, "You don't do that to a little boy." She was like, "You come talk to the parents first." She said, "I will correct mine." So basically, he's supposed to have, the little boy had bumps and bruises and whatnot. And after he, jacked him up on the wall, he let him drop to the ground.
Mm.
So what is your take on that?
I'm laughing because it's two foes. Because you're a little girl, and your daddy would be like, "Hey, come here, little boy. Don't you put your hands on my son no more." And then he would take the boy to the mama. Speaking of my granddaddy, so that's old school back then. And my father wasn't around to correct me like that. So my granddad, and then he would
Yeah.
take the little boy with me to the parent house after he done snatched the little boy up and tell the parents, "Your child has been putting his hands on my daughter, this little boy on my daughter, and deal with it." That's if you don't have no brothers. Usually,
Yeah.
like with my aunt and uncle, my aunt came home, this boy was bullying her. My uncle saw her running from the boy. He cooked his school, cut through the woods, cut through the shortcut, and saw his sister tailing down the street, and the little boy right behind him. So he jumped out, and he just 1 year older than my aunt, and she stopped running, looked behind her, so her brother jacking the boy up. She came back, and him and her beat the boy up. So when
Wow.
that's what you do when you have siblings, when you got older brothers, siblings to protect you. But if you don't have the older brothers to protect you, the father was well in his rights. You touching, and I don't think he didn't punch the boy, did he? He just
Not
jacked.
that I know of. He jacked him up and let him fall to the ground and told him, "You keep your hands off my daughter."
See, and then he should have took the boy to the parent. He should have followed the boy or took the boy, to the parent. He just did one part of it, but to me, it's two foes. You know,
Yeah,
that,
but I think about it like this. I think he it was extreme. But I'm thinking about it from the standpoint of, okay, this man protected his daughter, because there are too many stories in the news where children are getting bullied and they're committing suicide. So this father may have had that in his mind. Look, I can't let this happen because I've seen the stories. And sometimes emotions get the best of you. And I'm not excusing his behavior because it could have been handled different. But I also understand the other aspect of, the father. This is my daughter. I have to protect her from this cruel world, for it affects her in a way that she can't bounce back from. You know
Marley
what I'm
said he said that he had to talk to a few little boys' parents who couldn't keep their hands to themselves. So he went to the parent too, because sometimes the parent will come out of a bad on you. You know,
Yeah.
if you
Yeah,
could
they will.
you never know.
They will. I'm reminded of a story that happened here in Southeast, maybe a few years ago, where this young boy, I don't know what happened between the kids, but they got in a fight or whatever. And the father came up. It was on, I think it was Alabama and Naylor. The father came up. He shot the little boy, killed the little boy.
No, oh my
Yes,
gosh.
he did. Had an altercation with his son. So you just can't, parents want to protect their kids and all that stuff. And we know we're living in dangerous times. But it's so hard to say what we would do until we get to that point. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my
And like
God.
you said, some parents could come out the bag on you. You be trying to talk to parents like you think they're gonna think like you think. Okay, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna talk about it, we're gonna come up with a resolution. You don't always run into that. Because sometimes these kids get it from their parents.
Mm, mm, mm. My word, that is so sad. That is so tragic. That is
Yeah.
so. What, what kind of parent is sending that message to
I
say
don't
you
girl.
that's heartbroken. This this
Yeah.
this stuff. Oh my goodness, what is Louisa saying? Weezy saying some of these parents are ready to fight the children as they're the oh it turned another color. Is it
Some of
so
these
that's
parents are ready to fight the children as if they're the same age. I've had that happen with my daughters.
wow.
Louisa said she heard about that story. Yeah, I mean it's sad. It really is, but it's happening, and a lot of parents are on the defense. This is my baby. All this stuff going on in the world. They want to make it okay for adults to love any age if they want to. I mean, it's just all kinds of stuff going on. You have to protect your kids. Vans trying to kidnap, murders. I mean, some of these parents got mental health issues.
Some.
Yeah, some of them do.
It
I
sounds
mean,
like a lot of them do.
I
Is
mean,
you
major. See, there are levels to the mental health issue. Like I suffer from PTSD. There are levels to it. There are people who have PTSD that have night terrors, and they could snap at any moment.
mm,
There are levels to it, so we never know what somebody's going through. That's why I say, "Oh, wait a minute." I go to the school. I be like, "Look, you need to handle this." I go to especially if it's in the school setting. I go to school. Look, we need to have a meeting. Period. Bring the parent in. Let's talk about it. Because if you jump off of the bag, I got a witness when I punch in your face. I'm just saying because I've been in a situation where I was like, "Whoa," and how some of she kept going, ah, blah, blah, and blah, blah, blah. I was like, "Whoa, see, I'm good till you step in my bubble. I have a perimeter. Once you step across there, you might catch anything." But I try to talk to people. I try to talk to people, but you just never know what you're gonna get when you open that bag.
you see Slinky talk about girls like passing the first punch.
No,
That
girls don't. See, girls, he said it right, girls do. Women don't. I try everything in my power to do things in a decent manner, do things in order, but don't make no mistake. If you come for me, you can get some.
he was talking about back in his school day. He said girls like to pass the first punch at least in my school days. So he would fight the mama, the papa, and the kids. Slicky, that's not right. You the girl
Well,
passed the first, but you probably pinched her butt or did something to Gucci. Since
nah,
when
let
you
me.
saying
I
that innocent stuff?
I have to say I agree with Slicky. I be saying, especially now, these females, they be throwing hands with dudes like they really dudes. My daughters was in a recent situation where this girl kept attacking this boy and he kept trying not to hit her. She talked about his mother, insulted him, degraded him in front of the whole classroom. And all he did was held on to her. Then she grabbed his head, started punching him in the face. At that time, I say defend yourself. You think you a man? Maybe you need to learn a lesson.
When I was coming up, I would fight boys and girls. I remember I beat this boy down in gym class because he hit me on my butt. And I fought and attacked him just like I was a dude. And sailed on and the teacher, the gym teacher was laughing and said, "Hoo-hoo! Get him, Mac, get him." get them laughing and cheering it on. You
You
know,
know,
so
it's
what
sad
we
because
just say about the teachers? The proof is in how the teachers have to tiptoe in conversation because they don't know how the parents may respond. She said, uh, my children's teachers are always, where it go? I hate this thing. My
let me
children's
see.
teachers
She
are
said, always shocked at how I communicate with them. A lot of parents like to blame the teachers for what the children are doing. Yeah, I agree with Louisa. I was like, you know what they should do? They should put some of them military people in them classrooms. Put them on in there. Let them see what some military school like.
what Molly said. Molly said these kids will shoot you today.
Yes, they will. And they getting younger and younger with the guns in their hand.
Not only will they shoot you, they would jack you for your car and everything, and had the teacher scared to go home to the parking lot, out to the parking lot. Wow,
Yeah.
you
I
right.
told them, put some military in that school. Run the schools like that. And you run around thinking you're gonna get out of there, you gonna get them men know hand-to-hand combat. Before you make it out that classroom to get a gun, you be pinned down and choked out.
Back in the day, Forestville, I don't know, when we went, it was a regular school. After I left, they turned Forestville into Forestville Academy, a military academy at that. They gave them like that structure because it used to be so bad. It used to be shooting in the tunnels. It used to be a tunnel that go from one annex to another annex. And the people, that's where the hustling goes, the shooting, everything. You have to walk through the tunnel to get from one side of the property to the other side of the property, to
AJ.
the other buildings. And they was in there. Uh, I mean, anything could happen to you, and it was bad. And when I left Forestville, and I went to Parkdale. But then when I left, they made it to a military, academy because it was talking they was going to shut the school down. Then I don't know what happened after that. Then I heard it's back to a regular Forestville High School again.
Yeah. I you know what, Molly? That sounds like a good idea, putting cameras in the classroom. But I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of these teachers don't want them in the classrooms because some of these teachers be going off. You know what I'm saying? You got the good mixed with the bad, just like the students. You got some good students, some bad students. And I'm like, look, my thing is this. You have to decipher. If a child is coming there and you're not having problems with them, but they're constantly bullied, you need to pick who they really have to make a decision. We're going to teach these kids who really want to learn, or we're going to deal with these problems all day and distractions and risk the children who are really here for that purpose dropping out. Make another school, send them in a military school, boot camp, something. But allow our children who are there to grow and to prosper to learn in peace.
And they
It's
used
sad.
to do that.
Yeah, but it's sad because they don't do it no more. These kids causing. Let me tell you something. Within a month span at my kids' school, and they don't go to District of Columbia public schools. 2 children have been murdered. A month, 2 of their students murdered.
You said they don't go to District of Columbia school. What
No,
school?
they go to a charter school.
Okay, and in a charter school, 2 kids have been murdered.
Within if it's been a month, this is the second funeral I think in less than a month. In less
Wow.
than a month.
Good
And
morning,
then
Barbara.
yeah. So, girl, it's crazy out here. That's why we have to be so cautious. I mean, it's not going for me. It's not going to stop me from defending my kids because you might have a gun or whatever the case may be. Because honestly, I ain't going nowhere. The God called me home, so it is what it is.
Right.
But I'm not going to go out here acting stupid, grabbing up people, kids and whatnot. Now, if you're sometimes you gotta do hand-to-hand combat with some of these teenagers though, because they rough. They rough. You see them teenagers grab that old lady and drag her off the bus on
you
the
know,
W4. Drag that old lady off the bus.
For what reason? Just to assault her?
Because she said the lady and the baby got on the bus. This is the story, as they say. A lady and her little girl got on the bus, and the kids were back there acting up, cussing. She said, "Can y'all stop cussing? You know the baby's on the bus." And I don't know what took place from there, but kids got angry and dragged the old lady off the bus and threw her off the bus.
Dragged her off the bus.
But they got a couple of them. I don't know if they got them all, but yeah.
And what the bus driver do? The bus driver just let it happen.
Yep, bus drivers ain't risking their safety for nobody. They want to go home. And it's just that simple. They want to go home to see another day.
Wow. Do we got another story, Bernice?
We got one more, and this is on a lighter note. A Texas woman who was kidnapped 51 years ago is reunited with her family through DNA. So she was, like I said, she was basically kidnapped 50 years ago, and she has reunited with her family members to a home DNA test. She said, giving thanks to a home DNA testing kit. Melissa was just 22 months old when a babysitter allegedly kidnapped her from her parents' home in Fort Worth.
Wow.
Yep. Her mother was working as a waitress at the time and placed an ad in a local newspaper in order to find childcare for her daughter. After a woman answered the ad, she hired her without meeting her first. The woman allegedly took her daughter and never returned. So
that was 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Hope show the blood. Oh, it's just so much going on. You know, some people don't believe in the DNA stuff, but sometimes the DNA stuff can help you. Look what it did in this instance, in this case, and let the people know, you know, who their kin is. That's only, you know, if they're living.
Yeah, I mean, it's apparent because it's a TikTok that just went viral. This Caucasian young girl, she received an anonymous text saying you need to check your DNA on Ancestry.com or whatever, and she was like, she thought it was a scam, so she questioned it and all that stuff, and finally she did it. Her sister was like, go ahead and do it, and see what happens. So come to find out, her father wasn't her father.
Wow.
And the person who sent her that message happened to be, I think, her cousin or something, because he had went through the same thing and he felt like she had the right to know. So her story has gone viral.
Wow. Somebody said, check your DNA, your father. We parents, we got to stop lying to our kids. We lie to our kids about anything. Oh man.
Yeah, wow. She's not speaking to her mom anymore. They done that caused a whole rift in her family. But she said one thing for sure: her dad,
her mama didn't know. You know,
she knew. That's the thing to it. Her mama knew. She had a fling with a younger man back in her college days and never said a word.
Wow.
Her mama knew, but she said her dad is still her dad. She said now she just got two fathers.
That would have tore that man down. I mean, I wonder, is the mother and father still together? Why wouldn't she tell it later? You know, that's so messed up. Ooh. You know, but it happens like that a lot of families. You see, it happened in our family, and you know, one of you know, my uncles, they had to do a DNA test. His daughter wasn't his daughter. You know, they didn't find out that it was 21, but he always knew. The whole family always say, get a DNA test. But you know, when you marry and you sign your name, you don't have to get a DNA test because you're married,
right?
On that certificate, and then it was just so hurting because it hurts to tear down a child, you know, and it's just like this unnecessary hurt and unnecessary time wasted. I could have been getting to know this other side of, you know, my family. I could have been having some wonderful relationships and interaction with folks. we got to do better with our children. It's like when we know better, we supposed to do better. We expect the same for our children, but sometimes our children mimic us. They're our mirror image sometimes. So if we bringing them up in kind of chaos and all of this stuff, the children pick up a lot of stuff from us because, like I said, they're always watching. They're watching us. Woo! Child, I tell you.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's crazy.
Well, let's get on to some more news. You know, and you know what? That story. I'm gonna get the inside scoop about what happened with that firefighter story because I got a friend that's a DC firefighter, and I asked him. I said, "Did you hear about such and such?" He was like, "Nope." He said, "I'll find out tomorrow for you." He said, "Wait till I get home from work." But he did say that they hired a whole bunch of younger firemen, and he was saying that there's a lot of racism in the fire departments, you know, and that these young black cadets, you know, go through. And maybe you know, there was like one house in Northwest, it was in the news, they had swastikas. Now how you gonna be a firefighter in the DMV and do that swastika thing? Easy.
Oh girl, that goes back to that story where the firemen let them two little boys die in that fire.
And
two black little boys. They let them die in that fire. So you know that's why that comes back to we need our own community. Be trusting our life in these people's hands.
That's what I say all the time. We sometimes separate isn't a bad thing. Sometimes being separate can protect your butt. You know, and that's just the truth. That's just how I see it. That's my opinion. All right, let's do roll call, and then we're gonna get into today's story. I know Slicky in the house. Good morning, Latrice. Good morning, Molly. Good morning, Louisa. Good morning, Ernest. Good morning. Am I forgetting? Did I pass anybody?
Spurry Entertainment.
Yeah, that's Bubba. Good morning, Bubba. That's Bubba Spurry. That's from Next Level Radio.
Yes, Lord.
What's up, Bubba? What's up? And TT Creations. His wife does my my pens and all of my knickknack that goes to the book, stuff like that. So she does like my bookmarker, the bottles, the T-shirts, stuff like that. So she take your logo, TT Creations. She could create all kinds of knickknacks, bric-a-bracs, anything you need. You can get it.
Jill on Keys.
That's my girl, Jill on Keys. Thank you. Good morning. Thank you guys for tuning in. All righty. Let's get on to the story today, y'all. I got to, of course, we always get to bring a video to it. So the group, we decided we're going to play this video. Tell me what y'all think about this. How y'all feel afterwards.
We've been lying to our babies all their life.
Yes, sir.
Then whenever they get old, they don't want to talk to us no more.
Right.
You work all them overtimes and them double times to give your baby a so-called good Christmas. And then you give credit to some imaginary fat white man that came down the chimney on the 24th day and he went all over the world delivering gifts and you ain't even got a chimney in the project.
Look at that.
Am I telling the truth?
Ain't true. Come on now.
Telling your baby that by way of there's some hocus pocus, spooked-a-fat white woman called the Tooth Fairy
Come on.
is gonna come and put some money under the pillow. If your baby leave that little dirty, nasty, rotten tooth under the pillow, they're gonna take that little dirty, rotten, nasty tooth and leave $1 under the pillow. Stop lying to your children. Got your babies believing that when the rainbow pop out, that there's some midget white boy in a green outfit called a leprechaun down there with a pot of gold. And if they just get to the end of the rainbow, they can get rich. Stop lying to your babies like that. Got your children thinking that some little chubby white boy baby with some wings on his back, running around with some special bow and arrow. can shoot you in your behind and then shoot somebody else in the behind. And a woman that wasn't thinking 2 cents about you, all of a sudden, because Cupid shot her in the behind. Now when next time y'all see each other, y'all got some special twinkle in your eyes. And now y'all in love, y'all made for each other. Stop lying to your babies. Stop lying to the children.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Well, to tell your baby that God is a spirit that don't live inside of themselves. To teach them that the Messiah, the Christ, the Son of the living God is a white man. Or to teach them that they will die and go to heaven or die and go to hell underneath the ground is just as bad as telling them a Santa Claus exists. Or there's a tooth fairy, or there's a Cupid or a leprechaun. A lie is a lie, and all of it works against the transmission of the human brain.
Did he tell you a lie is a lie? And all of that works against the transmission of the human brain. That is an agenda that they have been set our people on, especially after the war, you know, because all of them after the war of 18, the Civil War, okay, all of those black men, they got their freedom. You can't tell them we're gonna put y'all back in chains. We done gave y'all guns and uniforms and all that. Oh, it would have been a true uprising. And that's why my grandfather's father, a little girl, that's why he was so upset when he came back, because he served in World War II. Him, my uncle, two of my granddaddy's brothers was in World War II. Okay, my granddaddy had, it was 14 of them jokers. And they were in the military and came back. But when they came back, they didn't get treated. They said that overseas, the people treated them more human than what they did when they came back. They said that the white folks still treated the colored soldiers bad when they came back from the war. They went over there, fought for that country, and died for the country. A lot of them died, didn't come back out there on the front line, and they came back. They thought they was going to be treated with respect. They still had to call them, yes sir, boss. Bow his head. My great granddaddy had to bow his head, talk about yes sir, boss, yes sir, boss. After he served the war for this younger a Caucasian boy, and you had to call him boss, and you had to say yes sir, and that is just so demeaning to our people. But we got to stop lying to our children, because the lies that we telling our children are passed down from generation to generation of somebody else's culture, somebody else's history. That's not indicative of where we come from, the Native Americans or the enslaved Africans that they call African Americans these days. That wasn't our culture, but we had to take on the persona of our masters. And whatever our masters believe in, they drilled it in your head to make you forget who you were and to take on their identity. And then half of them stole our identity. And they still doing it. They're doing it now. You know, it's just like, it amazes to me. And this is stuff that was not taught in school. This is stuff that the family had to talk about. Then you go do your own digging and your own research. Because I'm like, he didn't serve in World War II. Yes, he did. I saw medals and everything. It was real. So it's not something that a story they told them, but it's the truth. And it was a living truth, because the people that was living and it happened to was telling me what they went through. Just like we tell our children, like I'm gonna give you an example. Like if we tell our children, if I tell my son, there was food stamps back in the day. A little book that you get the food stamps out of. He'll look at me and be like, okay, Mom, they had brown dollars, green dollars, purple dollars. Yes, because we was on them. But he wouldn't believe it if somebody else told him. But I'm telling him what history was, that he could go do his own research, because I lived it and I could tell the tale. We need to tell our children the truth. Tell the truth to shame the devil. But we don't, because we perpetuate somebody else's culture.
Well, I don't know about all that. And again, I don't deal in generalizing everybody because I have not celebrated Christmas one day in my life. I've never told my kids there was an Easter bunny. My kids don't believe in no damn leprechaun and so on and so on. But one thing we do believe in Jesus. But my thing is this. People choose how they live their lives. Now, one thing about it is I ain't gonna judge you according to the way you live. That's your life. That's what you consider your truth. Like for me, my cousin is a Muslim. I don't believe in their beliefs. They don't believe in my beliefs. But that's the way of the world. We all, what kind of world would it be if we all had the exact same thoughts, the exact same, we were all the exact same? No, I can appreciate the beauty of people. Look, that's how you want to live your life. That's how you want to live your life. But don't try to rub it off on me. Because in the end, it's my choice. But Ernest asked, when did we stop teaching our kids about Christmas? Like I said, never celebrated it one day in my life. Not one day.
Well, I guess it's for those households. When do we stop teaching our kids about Christmas? That's a good idea. I mean, that's a good not idea. That's a good question. When do we? I guess it's different from some people. My cousin, she was like, I know it ain't no Christmas. I know it's like that. But she said, I enjoy the holiday. I enjoy the gift giving. I know it's not Jesus' birthday, but they enjoy the holiday, the gift gifting. And she said she enjoyed putting up her garland. She said she know it ain't the day that Jesus was born, but she loved that holiday. It's fun to her. Just like Halloween and some, to you right, to each his own. To each his own. But you ain't got to lie to me. You ain't got to lie to the kids, because when we are lying to our children, we're throwing that on them, or we putting that belief on them. Used to scare the hell out of me when I lost the tooth.
Come here, boo.
I'm scared that some creepy lady gonna come in and take my tooth. But you wanted that dollar, but you were scared and you try to stay up to catch it. You don't have to scare children. You don't have to terrify them. You don't have to do but we do. My child didn't get asked to be lied to. I gave him that lie because I thought I was passing down what we did for generation to generation. And then I was like, wait a minute. Why am I not one gift do it said from Santa Claus? It said from mommy, or from auntie, or from cousin, whatever. It never said from Santa Claus. So I don't know why everybody said Santa Claus. Anyway, we never did that. We always said mommy, daddy. You know who you came from. So he never believed Santa Claus bought him that, because he ain't never get Santa Claus list. He told me what he want. So, but we get that to our children. The Easter Bunny, we do that because we're passing on somebody else's culture.
No, we don't. Y'all do. Because
I don't do. I mean, I'm saying the people. I'm saying the people.
Yeah. I mean, because like I said, Reese, there's so many different beliefs out here. You know what I'm saying? I could tell somebody, and people believe in former lives. In former lives, I was this. And that's what they believe. That's what they believe. I may not believe it, but if that's your belief, that's your belief.
A belief or lying. See, the thing is, when do we stop lying to our children? Not what our children believe in, but when do we, as the adults, stop lying to the kids so they can form their own the beliefs, so they can go their own way and judge things for themselves. Up until you get a certain age, you did what you was told.
Yeah, and that's the way I grew up. But the beautiful thing about it is when I decided, when I had my kids, I said I'm gonna give them everything emotionally, and I couldn't give them everything financially that I wanted to give them or wanted them to have. But what I did give them is freedom of mind. When you allow your children to have a voice, we was told, shut up and do what I say. Period. We didn't have a voice. I gave my children a voice. I taught them how to use their voice. So, and therefore using their voice, they use their mind and say, let me check this out. Let me check that out. I heard this, but I want to see. And see, I didn't get that way until I got older. I was like, hold on. I hear what you telling me, but I need to know for myself, so I'm gonna research it. In a world where there's so much information from so many different people, it's easy for one to get confused. That's why you have to have a strong mind. You have to have a strong mind. But again, like I said, if you believe you came from a past life, baby, hey, that's you. Who am I to sit there and argue with you and get myself all excited telling you you ain't living a former life?
But you know, like what Ernest said, he said we did what we were told. We didn't know better. That's that part of that PTSD. That's part of that slavery because they thought they told you how to talk, eat, and drink, or they beat it out of you. They beat what you knew before out of you, and imposed that. And so we grew up. It was just passed down to generation to generation, even when we got out of the chains and shackles, because that's all we knew. If you grew up believing that's all you knew, that was all you knew. We a lot of parents don't have the blueprint or nothing, and we make mistakes. And hey, and we grow up and we live and we learn, you know. So they was just passing down what they was told because they didn't know no better. I don't hold it to nobody. I don't hold it against nobody. Because if you don't know better, you don't know better. But when you know better, you're supposed to do better. And when I found out the truth, and or how everything came about, you know, because I never did ask, well, where did this come from? Where did that come from? Not until I was a grown, old, rusty butt adult that I was curious. I was like, well, where did they get that from? And I wonder where they get that from. Then I went to dig and do research because again, they don't teach you the stuff in school.
Yeah, but you know, I think again, Eve was saying some generations didn't know better, so they just passed the traditions on as they were taught. And DJ Slicky say we all tell lies, stop the bullshit. First of all, I know we have all. Well, I ain't even gonna say that because some people have such morals where they refuse to tell a lie. Some people are just that blunt; they're gonna tell you the truth, whether you want to hear it or not. So I'm not gonna say all people. Again, I don't generalize.
Some people, everybody told a lie because that's part of being human. That's part of that human. Whether you say, "Tell my mama I ain't here," when your mama tell her a lie. A lie is a lie. There's no white lie, no big lie. And when you pick up the phone, tell them I ain't here. I ain't here. Oh, I ain't got the money. Or I ain't did this. Or whatever. That no matter how harmless we may think it's a lie, you can say, "Oh, girl, you look good," and be like, "Oh, she look a hot mess." We have all fell short of glory. Ain't nobody perfect.
I ain't say they was perfect. I said they don't lie. I didn't say no, but everybody has their faults. Some people might like. I have an uncle who
told a lie. Somebody told a lie sometime in their life. Whether when
I'm not gonna say that. I don't believe that. Just like you said, I don't believe that. But we're entitled to our own opinions, right?
You're right. So whether just like point in your life, whether you're a kid, you know better. Somebody told a lie to. So I can't. Well, I have yet to meet a person that never lied their whole life.
Well, when you said you haven't met them, you don't know that because if you don't know everybody all their life, all their practices, you have to be with somebody 24/7, day in and day out to know that. But that's what Louisa was just saying. She said, I think we have a problem allowing people to live the way they want. What people believe or participate in is their business. If you don't like it, don't do it. And I agree with that. Period. Live and let live.
I'm not talking about that. We don't live and let live when we impose things on our children. We're not letting our children choose. When we go out there and say, there's a Santa Claus, there's this, there's that. Are you letting your children live and let live? No, you're posing your beliefs on that child.
But as a parent, most of us are doing what we feel is best as our children. Again, as Ernest said, we're doing what we was taught. As you said, it came from generation to generation. But when we know better, we do better. And I've heard parents say, "Look, baby, this is what I was taught. I believed it, but now I'm going to tell you that that's a lie. That's a lie." And for me, yeah, and the thing about it is, just like they say, you said, I think it's your niece. She said she just likes celebrating Christmas. That's all fine and well, but stop telling the lie that you celebrate Jesus' birthday. Because on your birthday, Reese, ain't nobody bringing me gifts. That don't make sense. It don't make sense.
Exactly.
Help me make it up, So
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
When it's intentional, it's definitely a problem. That's why I'm so raw and real with my kids. Be like, mommy had her whole day, boo. I ain't gonna lie to you. Mommy had her day. Mommy wasn't perfect. Mommy still ain't perfect. I'm open and honest with my kids because I've seen parents act like they forget where they came from. Oh, now you judge it because your daughter displaying the same thing that you displayed, but you're a secret hoe. Come on, man. Tell the truth, shame the devil. Let's be real. Let's be real with our kids. That's why I got an open forum. I used to play games with my kids, like tell us something you dealing with and tell us how we need to address it. Because as I said, when my sons were children, I knew how to deal with them. And when they got old, I said, you tell me how you need mommy to love you because now you're a man. So that's people, right. We have to learn that, look, and I saw a video this morning say, Mom, you want to be in every aspect of your kid's life, but there's some places you don't belong. Let God deal with that. Because you've done your job. Yeah, you still be there for them. You still support them. But sometimes you got to mind your business. Like my son got married. Did I agree with him? No, I didn't. But he's an adult. It's his decision. And you know what he brought back to my attention when I was like, baby, look, if you happy, you happy. But you know how I feel about it. He said, Mom, I'm doing what you taught me. He said, I'm fighting for what I love. And that nipped it in the bud for me. Okay, baby, do your thing. And he out here and he doing his thing and he working hard and he providing for his family. When he not at work, even it could be cold outside. He out here, he running his car business. He making sure that he do for his. And will it all be a bed of roses? No. And when he come to me, he know I'm gonna be right there. But I gotta mind my business because that's his wife.
That's good. Serious. That part right there, that's definitely good. And that's what I meant by us telling our kids those tales and those fables. Louisa wrote a whole lot, Bernice. What she said?
I'm gonna read it. She said, I stopped celebrating a lot of the holidays years ago, but my children's fathers still celebrate. So the kids still celebrate. What I do for my children is decorate, enjoy family time, cook, or bake together, because this time is supposed to be a joyous time. My children know there is no Santa Claus. They know that it's not Jesus' birthday. They also know I'm not going to go broke buying gifts because I take care of you and buy things for them all year. I agree with that girl. She said that's a good idea. Let the holiday spirit hit the government.
I know that's right. And that's all I was saying in a nutshell with us lying for our kids, because we have been taught tradition. We had to do this. You can celebrate in your own way, make up your own tradition. It don't have to be in that box that they put it in and say, here, this is what you do. Here, this is how you celebrate. This is what this means. You find out the true meaning and the truth. And the Black people celebrated because they was happy to be amongst family. Family got a chance during them holidays to meet with their other cousins from this plantation and that plantation. So we celebrated as family time. We and that's what we did. Halloween. Christmas is my grandfather. Used to be my grandfather's favorite time of the year. Okay. Yeah. And that's because he see relatives he didn't see. Everybody get together, hug up and love on each other. And that's because that's the day that the government or the master give you off so you can go commingle and be there and celebrate with your family. And
Ernest, I'm sorry, Bree.
You said go ahead, Ernest. What?
Ernest said, in America, every bill should be free in the month of December to celebrate Christmas. Ho, ho, ho.
We wish.
I know that's right, E. I'm with you on that one.
That's too much like right. And January to celebrate the new year. The ending and the beginning. Look, your first and last month.
Yeah, that would be good. They say January, swipe out all our debt. Let us start new for the new year.
You go to the grocery store, get what you need. Go,
it would be something if they decided, okay, well, what we gonna do? We gonna give everybody a perfect credit score and see what they do with it.
Some you gotta have the right mindset. Some people go back into debt, getting the same thing that they bought before to get in debt. And some people were like, let me be wise with this. Wisdom, just because knowledge and wisdom is two different things. I always tell my son, knowledge and wisdom. You can get the books, you can obtain all of that knowledge, but your wisdom, it comes in knowing where to apply that knowledge, where to put that knowledge. So some of us are ready, some of us aren't.
And it's crazy because I never had any credit card debt or things like that. Most of mine came from when I was struggling trying to pay bills. I ain't never had a credit card. I was taught, look, if I ain't got the cash to buy it, I don't need it.
But society frowns on that because I got sick and had all these hospital bills. So I started doing cash and carry. If I couldn't afford to pay for it, I wouldn't get it. But they told me when I was well, I always knew it, but I'm like, this is ridiculous. They told me you have to keep your credit open, revolving credit in order to get credit. In other words, you got to stay in debt in order to get some credit so you can go in debt. You got to keep paying on the bills, showing them that you could pay the bills. Well, you showing them that you could pay the bills when you do cash and carry. You showing them that you could, but they want to know that you get that credit card, but it's a ploy. It's all a game with them. And, to stimulate the economy, that high interest rates, which they open up the reserve again, the interest rates is getting ready to go up again. They want to keep you in that. They want to keep it where you keep owing them. They don't want us to be free. They actually do owe us, but they want to keep their knee or their foot down on your neck. They want to keep you in control. You owe us something. You got something. And I just couldn't believe it. I said, so I get penalized for having good credit. Just like with Cricket, the other day, just Tuesday, I'm on the phone fussing with them because back in the day when Cricket first came out, I got the unlimited plan, right? Listen, hear me now, y'all. Listen to this. Y'all viewers out there, y'all follow me with this. I bought the unlimited plan with Cricket had, let's say 10 years ago. I think it was longer than that. Let's just use 10 years ago. So don't you know they have a new ultimate unlimited plan? So they telling me that my plan is so old and obsolete that they got the new unlimited plan that I can't keep getting my I should be grandfathered in this contract, right? Mm-hmm. But they was like, no, you need to get a new contract and get the new rate. I said, no. I said, I had the unlimited plan, which it was supposed to be talk, text, and free data at the time, right?
Oh, yeah.
Back then. But they was like, oh, no, now it's 5G. Now you don't get free data and all that stuff. Well, you got to get a new plan. They said, your plan is so old, we don't even carry it on our books no more. And I was like, that's why you should do a solid and give me that benefit for the same amount that I'm paying. I should be grandfathered in, right? Mm-hmm. I say, is that how you treat your loyal customers? I didn't jump up and leave you and go to T-Mobile, Sprint, or none of that. I stayed with y'all. Mm-hmm. But that's how you treat me?
Yeah, but these companies don't care. It's all about $1, period. That's what it's about. That's exactly what it's about. Oh, Ernest said he going for the trust fund with the perfect credit score. I don't know what's DJ Slicky Woo talking about. He said a lie, Reese. And Louisa say, DJ Slicky, what's going on with you today? You sounding like a grumpy old man right now.
I ain't gonna say that's every day, but that's every day. He gonna bust me in my lips anyway. He gonna impregnate my lips anyway. So I'm gonna say it because he gonna hit me either way. Slicky do that every day. That's Slicky. It wouldn't be Slicky if he wasn't giving somebody 5 across the lips. That's why I call him Fred Sanford. Fred used to always give you 5 across your lips. And Slicky always telling me I'm going to impregnate your lips. Bookie?
Yeah. Well, again, we can't hold a lot of parents accountable because, like he said, they were doing what they were taught, and that's what my grandparents, And I think that's why I was able to forgive a lot of stuff because they were only doing what they were taught. And then when it came to my children, I had to be forgiven for some stuff because I was doing what I was taught. But when you know better, you do better. It's just that simple. I'm not gonna lie to my kids about, what's out here because I want my kids to know the plain and simple truth. Period. Even with my granddaughter, she's 9 years old, but I gotta talk to her about sex. You know why? Because if I don't, somebody else will. And I don't want the school teacher her jack. I want to give her truth. I'm going to show her information. I'm going to tell her, all that I know to tell her. But in the end, when she gets a little older, it's going to be up to her what she does with that information. And I want her to be wise enough to go and say, look, I'm going to check this out for myself. Because I didn't check a lot of stuff out for myself. I just believed what they told me. That's it.
I did too. The mother, the rhythm method, and the boy. One of my girlfriend's mother told me, "Don't kiss the boy because if you kiss him, you might as well open up your mouth and let them spit in it." And I was like, "Huh?" She said, "Kissing is swapping spit." That's why I was a grown, and I was just like, "Ew, nasty." My son's father was the first time I French kissed somebody. Other than that, I was kissing like, mwah, mwah, and that's the God. It's sad, but that's the God honest truth. Didn't know no better. Stupid, because I listened to what her mother told us. She was telling.
Well, baby, you keep freezing up. But back then they made sex seem so disgusting. You froze up. You froze up. Oh, and we got a comment. Who was it? Ronald said. No, first DJ Slicky said, I'm all about the truth. You all started. Ronald said, do we keep accepting his behavior or we put him in his place? I think it's on the person, Ron. I mean, some people going to take it and some people not. And then Slicky said, try your hands, punk ass. Whatever. My thing is this. People do what you allow them to do. I ain't gonna allow nobody to disrespect me. So you come for me, you're gonna get that back. So all your attitude, I don't know who did what, but it wasn't Lady B. So I don't know. And I'm not talking about Slicky. I'm talking about whoever. Because people will do what you allow. What you allow, what you accept, And for a long time I said, because my ex-husband used to tell me, he was like, girl, he said, somebody gonna punch you in the mouth because of the way I talk. And I said, look, that's just me. No, it wasn't me. It was experiences I had. It was undealt with hurt and trauma that I had. It wasn't who I was. Because Lady B is a person with a big heart, would do anything for anybody. But at the same token, I will come to you and tell you, look, this is what it is, and you're not going to disrespect me because I'm not going to disrespect you. So a lot of times we take on that, this me. But again, everybody to each their own. You live how you want to live, and if I can't deal with it, I just leave you alone. Period.
Yeah, you got to, because sometimes your energy, like we said before, those damn energy,
they go at it.
Sucking on your energy. You can't get that back. I'm too old now. I'm too old. When I was younger, I was like you, Lady B, throw hands, whoop, 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 all the time. What stayed in whoop ass status because I stayed mad and upset from childhood drama, and you be just waiting to
wow. Wow. I'm sorry, Reese. Just wow.
What really, is going on?
Really, guys? Y'all too old for that. Y'all should be able to sit down and talk like men. If you got a problem with each other,
they play, right?
Nah. Ronald said, like I told him, I will push his ass down the hill and wave at him. And Slicky said, fuck you 2 times. Nene said, okay, children, play nice.
They did it. I think they just playing with each other.
I hope so. Ernest said, some people are judgmental based on what other people tell them about a person. You must judge everybody individually, to each their own. That's right. I can, people can say what they want about me. People come and they say, oh, she mean. She's standoffish. See, I'm a woman. I observe people. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to watch you. I ain't just jumping all in. Because we mess around and jump in the sea that's too deep and you drown. They still going at it. I hope they playing. Please be playing. Please be playing. Lord have mercy, child. Lord have mercy. All right, Molly. He's chiming in. That means the show is over, ladies.
Great show, ladies. Great
Uh-oh.
show. I see Ron and Slick going at it as usual. There ain't nothing new, Bernice. He done threatened to push
Oh, Lord.
Slicky off the wheelchair about 100 times.
Lord.
Time to come for he gonna get him. Slicky got a gang out here. What that gang called down there, Reese?
Squeegee boys. The Squeegee
I'm on
boys.
my way.
Don't
A
fall.
great show, ladies. Great show. Out on you, Reese Ree.
Yum, yum, yum. All right. So don't forget to get your CMOS. On the 17th, we be at, what is it, Reese?
We're gonna be at Bar 210, right off of 210, Browns Road, Maryland. It's a comedy show. The Gwen Factor, Mimi is putting it on, and some other lovely comedians that'll be out there. Tickets are $20 in advance. I'm not sure how much they are at the door, but DM me and I give you the information or the flyer. We'll put that out. Look on my page for the flyer and all that good stuff.
So come on out, and remember, Molly is the CMOS man. Get at him. You won't regret it. And don't forget to hit up Boss Man for your shea butter and Lady B for them bees and Shades of Blue with Lady Reese. Let's get it.
You, well done. Let's get
Got
it.
that Moss
Molly
for
Moss.
you.
Molly,
Yeah.
by the way, that purple sea moss
Don't forget your boy Reese Ree.
is
Must probably
potent.
gonna send it.
Huh?
Family First Life
Insurance.
Insurance.
Family First Life Insurance. Yes. Brian Briscoe. Good man. He'll take care of you. He'll find you the best policy out there. Because I know he did that for me. And I was very thankful because I was told that I was uninsurable. So, yeah. I mean, not unless I wanted to pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I'm saying he found the policy that I could live with, that'll take care of my needs and I could actually afford, you know. So, yes.
Yeah, hit him up. Number right there, 301-798-9686. He offers family life coverage, terms, whole life, terms and return, paycheck protection, final expense, long-term care, guarantee issue life insurance. So, you know, Reese got insurance with him. She got a couple of
My uncle got insurance with her.
family
These
members
are,
that have insurance. So you're looking
it's
for
good
life
to get
insurance,
it before
you got to
50.
reach out to.
It's definitely good to get some insurance
before
before
50.
your butt reach 50. I can't
Appreciate
see.
that. Slick and them said one love, much love, Slick for Ron Hunt. Yeah, y'all get it together. I'm gonna call y'all after this
I'll
show.
put y'all in the
Love y'all.
timeout. Go to the corner and stand in the corner.
We out, y'all.